if we went to the moon, how has it been so hard to get back? And I don't want to hear, we don't need to go back. We're trying to get to Mars. To me, until you can form a somewhat colony on the moon, similar to the space station, where you're able to grow food, like inside, not outside. It ain't like you're growing a garden in your backyard. But until they can kind of habitize the moon, why even bother with Mars?
True. What's up, y'all?
This is Beyond 21.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Callie.
I'm Hunter.
Y'all have never seen Hunter, I don't think. But y'all have heard him.
Well, yeah, you've heard me. Yeah, you ain't seen me.
Yeah. This is his first appearance on video.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Got the new lights in here. Yeah.
Do you like our studio?
I do. I see it every day, so, yeah.
You look shy. You can tell by the way he holds his mouth that he's like shy.
Are you a little nervy?
I mean, I'm surrounded by two celebrities right now,
Oh, you starstruck?
I can't go into Walmart without saying, somebody coming up to Kelly and be like, hey, I watch your podcast.
That's true.
Do you really? Nobody ever says anything to me at Walmart.
Miss Wester saw me yesterday.
Oh, Miss Wester does now.
And so you're starstruck?
I am, yeah.
Well, that's good. Spread the word. You
I
should
do.
actually listen to the podcast and you would be really starstruck.
Yeah, we talk about you and Blake sometimes bad.
We'd be roasting on y'all.
We do.
Hey, you roast on me out in public. I mean, it ain't no different.
You roast on me out in public.
I do.
Okay.
I roast on Hunter too, and he roasts back.
He does.
Especially on the pickleball court.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what brother and sister are for.
honestly, people would think me and Hunter would go out in the parking lot and fight if they didn't know we was joking.
That's true. And I know sometimes they're not joking.
Sometimes it gets a little serious. When he hit me, bro, 3 times, it was serious.
With the pickleball. He didn't hit her with his fist.
Yeah, he threw one at me, though. That's when I went running
Oh,
after
yeah,
him
yeah,
and I
yeah.
pushed him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was dead serious.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't know what was going on.
Hunter knows how to push people's buttons and he loves it.
I am
He
a button
enjoys it.
pusher.
He enjoys it.
An instigator.
Yeah. I know.
A pot stirrer, if
I'm
you
a
will.
pot stirrer.
Chronic pot stirrer.
Yeah. He lives for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he goes, if you just wouldn't get so mad.
Speaking of Hunter being a pot stirrer, this is a good segue into him being a pot stirrer.
Oh, yeah.
He's about to get into some of y'all's minds and get y'all frazzled about his conspiracy theories. When Carly came and did hers, he was like, I got to do one. Because he's got all kinds of stuff.
Hunter's knowledgeable about them, too. Like,
He gets into the deep dive.
he's got the details.
Yeah. So, without further ado, Hunter, tell us your very first, whichever one's first on the list that we named off a while ago.
Before we get into conspiracy theories, kind of my reasoning behind being so interested is, like when I was a kid, I didn't ever watch Disney Channel. Besides a little bit of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Wizards of Waverly Place,
Jesse.
Jesse,
Greg even likes Jesse.
I don't blame him.
If I was at my grandparents' house, I was not watching Disney. I was watching National Geographic, Discovery Channel, History Channel, anything but what a kid would normally watch.
But you liked it.
I did. So, like, even now, like, if I'm eating lunch at the house by myself, like, I'm watching some sort of geographic
Documentary.
documentaries.
He's a
talking
knowledge
about
guy.
The world's largest dam, this cave in Europe, like, weird stuff.
Knowledgeable. You're
But
very knowledgeable.
yeah. So,
You like to learn.
conspiracy theories really,
Really light that fire under you.
They
Not
really
that
scratch
fire.
your itch.
oh, yeah. There's a
They're
couple.
interested.
There's a few channels on the YouTube that get my subscription. You know,
And it's not ours.
yeah. I do subscribe.
Do you?
I like the videos most of the time.
But you don't watch them.
That's
I
okay.
watch
I don't care if
clips.
you watch
I
them or
watch
not.
the clips. Like when y'all had a couple, like when Bo was on here, and y'all posted a clip on TikTok. That was hilarious.
Okay.
Skylar's clips were funny.
Okay.
You got to live with that one.
I did. I was actually on set.
He was producing.
He was
that
running the
episode.
camera, and he said he wants to be our guy. He wants to be our Jamie.
Whenever they get a TV in here, I'll be there, Jamie. You know, that's like, hey Hunter, pull that up.
A TV. Callie's got a TV she can put in here now.
Yeah. Did you see that? He was like, oh.
He's like, no, that's my PlayStation TV.
Yeah.
No. We have
we
another
got another
TV.
one.
Oh.
Yeah, the
I
other
one at
one
my
can-
house too, I'll bring.
The other one can
And-
go on the wall, but you
and-
just got to buy a computer.
And I have a computer.
I have a MacBook. I'm about to get another one for Christmas. You can use my MacBook.
There you go.
There you go, boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I've hired a producer. Y'all saw it here, episode 39.
We've hired him for free.
Salary,
gets paid-
salary to be determined. So
He gets paid double what he makes now. Nothing. Triple even.
Hey,
some days.
he makes more than what we make.
He does. We can give him a bonus too.
Maybe
3% of the total that you make now, starting out.
maybe 5.
Okay, 5. We'll do 5.
7.
I think go up to
think
50%
I
on
do think
0.
the video listeners would appreciate a TV. I mean, drop a comment
Yeah, let us know what
if
you
want.
think.
If you want to see a TV on set, I don't know if anybody watches the Joe Rogan Experience, but I do. But I always think it's kind of delightful whenever they're like, "Hey, Jamie, pull that up." And
Are you talking about like when they screen record the TV monitor?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's like, "Hey, I'm about to send you a video." Like, ain't even got to be nothing. Just like, "Hey, show that video of me and Callie doing something dumb,"
Why did you go to something dumb?
because that's just usually what you're doing.
Yeah, let's not talk about the cinnamon stick.
Okay. All right. We're going to get into the conspiracy theories. Thank you.
So, which one do y'all want to talk about first?
Oh, do you not want to start fresh?
We got 5 minutes on this one. You can start fresh with 10 minutes. Or you can start now with 4 minutes. Or less than 4 minutes.
Do y'all believe the moon landing?
Honestly,
Respect.
after oh yeah. I feel like, I know that sounds bad. We were taught to believe it. But after
but
hearing
yeah.
all the things,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't know if I do.
Yeah. So get in. Do you believe it?
Not a chance. All right, here's my reasoning. If we went to the moon, how has it been so hard to get back? And I don't want to hear, we don't need to go back. We're trying to get to Mars. To me, until you can form a somewhat colony on the moon, similar to the space station, where you're able to grow food, like inside, not outside. It ain't like you're growing a garden in your backyard. But until they can kind of habitize the moon, why even bother with Mars?
True, honestly.
Because you can go to the moon. The moon's a lot closer. You talking about going to Mars? I mean, that's like a 2 or 3 year trip. That's just not, to me, budget wise. It'd be a lot more feasible to make a base on the moon. Which don't get me started on that rabbit hole about Chinese bases on the moon, on the dark side of the moon. But that's also a theory too.
It had to be a part 2.
Yeah.
So, like,
Why? Okay, here's my question. They're wanting to get to Mars. They're wanting to build things on Mars. Okay, and you were talking about money. We don't have enough money to support what we got going on now. Why do they want to go to Mars and try to colonize it?
Well, with the looming threat of nuclear war, I think they're just more worried about the existence of humans post that. Like,
okay.
or say like an asteroid's coming, and they're like,
They're wanting
We
to
got-
save the human race?
yeah,
So, well, I mean, who's to decide who goes?
the most qualified people. You're talking about doctors.
You're talking about your smart people.
Yeah,
I ain't going.
Educated.
yeah, we're not making it.
No,
We're stuck.
That's fine. I don't want to go to Mars anyway.
that's fine.
My
We
mission to Mars
hey,
at Disney World was enough.
hey, we got a better home on the other side of
That's what
Mars.
I was
true.
thinking. That's what I was
That's
thinking.
true.
We'll probably be better off anyway.
Probably. So they've not been back to the moon.
No.
They go to space, but they don't go to the moon.
Another thing too is space real.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I see the stars.
You tell me why it's. Do you believe it's real?
I mean, I do, but there's arguments to say there's not.
Which
There's
is?
the firmament.
Oh, so you're talking biblically now. You're talking about the firmament.
And that
The dome
like
over-
whenever you say like the SpaceX, now it seems like they just hit a wall and it just dissipates. People were saying they're hitting the firmament, but
Firmament.
also firmament. But also that translation in the Bible, like I'm not reading it. What was it in Hebrew to begin with?
You talking about when
Yeah.
all the
so,
original
like,
owners of
the
the earth.
translation of it, that word ferment could not necessarily mean that.
Firmament.
Firmament.
Put another M in it.
Firmament. But yeah, so the ferment, they're saying
You did that on purpose.
firmament.
He's kind of already stuck in his ways. He's already said ferment so many times that we ain't out here making wine. Fermented cheese. Callie's vibrating again. I'm gonna zoom on it. She's going.
You got it.
Bless.
Okay, keep going.
But anyway, they say people on the space station aren't even there. You know, there's a whole debacle right now. People stuck on the space station.
Like where?
Why are they stuck?
Where
No,
are they stuck at?
They're on the space station.
But it's in orbit.
It's in orbit, low Earth orbit, like within 300 miles.
So not in space.
That's technically space.
Now,
So
did
you just said space was not real.
he
maybe.
he
But
said
isn't.
he
I'm
didn't
just saying,
believe
I don't
that it
believe
wasn't
that.
real.
But I mean, it's possible.
Okay.
Okay, so how far would it take us to get to Mars?
How far would it?
Because you
take
said
us?
how far would it take us? How long would it take us? Because you said 2
I
to
wanna
3
say
years.
It's like 2 or 3 or 4 to 5 years.
How far away is it
It's
from?
a
I
while.
mean, it's the next planet.
But it's a poke.
It's the next planet over. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it
sorry,
is.
I was
Mercury,
thinking
Venus,
the wrong thing.
Venus, Earth,
I
Mars.
was thinking the wrong thing. Go
It's
ahead.
the next planet over, but it's also
Yeah.
not like next door.
Right. It's like.
But to me,
thousands.
I'm like, gosh, you're sitting in a spaceship for 3 years, like day in and day out.
Yeah, but tell us the time. How I don't get this one bit. Maybe I'm dumb. Yeah, but
Did you
the
want
time-
him?
Are you
Did
talking about Interstellar?
yes.
What
Is
is
that
that?
not real?
It's real. It's the
Why
effect
does
of
it work like that?
gravity.
I don't.
Wait, so
get
it
what gravity's
causes
got to do
a
with
shift
time.
in like the time
So, like,
zone?
say-
or
I get on a spaceship and I
Today.
go out into space. When I come back, you'll age longer than I have.
You'll be more aged.
Oh,
than me.
yes.
No,
because-
y'all will be more age.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, yes,
We'll be
yes.
more aged, but by
Oh.
how much?
that's like
It depends.
But if you're going for a year,
that's like
how long
in-
is that here?
It depends on where you're at. Like if you're just floating around in space, it isn't that much. But say we ever made it to the point to where we could go like light speed. Like you ever heard the term like that's like that star's 4 light years away.
Okay, yeah.
Like if I went light speed and was gone for like a year and come back. Like
Callie,
on-
do you know what light speed means?
Nope.
So when you flick a
Speed.
light on and how quick
Oh,
it cut
yeah,
it
yeah,
covers everything.
yeah.
So imagine we could go that fast, like a laser beam
Yeah.
Okay.
beaming to the moon.
But so if you were gone for a year,
But I don't know. I mean, that's like quantum physics.
but
I'm not-
I don't understand how that changes
Because the air
time.
quality is different there. When he was talking about like
No, it's the gravity and like how planet rotates around the sun, and it's all type of stuff that I really don't understand. But it's true. Like
Do you believe in the black holes or whatever?
is there black holes like there is black holes?
But do you think it's
Where do
like
they take-
Interstellar?
No,
where do they go?
that's what they don't know. They don't know what the inside of a black hole is.
But what is it?
It could be a portal to another universe. I mean, honestly, they don't know.
No, but what is it other than that?
It's basically just a dark center of mass that's sucking in everything around it.
So can
But
you
they don't-
tell before you get there?
Yeah.
That's a black hole.
They can
Stay
see it on
away.
telescopes.
Hole.io, the game.
Like whenever it's on Interstellar and they have like the black hole, it actually looks like that. They have pictures of it.
Okay.
So, have you seen Planet of the Apes, the like original? Do you remember watching it?
Yeah, I hated
Do you remember
it. I
how
hated it.
they were gone for like 6,000 years and they came back because they were in those chambers and it only felt like a night to them?
No,
But
I don't remember details of that movie. So
it was the very beginning. Remember when they all got out of their little coffin-looking beds and she was a skeleton because hers wasn't sealed,
maybe yeah.
and it aged her 6,000 years, and all the rest of them weren't aged. That's why when he said that, I was like, that's what it made me think of because they weren't old like they should have been.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 600 years. I don't know.
Do you have any more on the moon landing, or I mean,
Yeah,
because
so-
we really didn't talk about that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing too is just like, how in the world did they live broadcast people on the moon in what was it, the 60s?
Yeah.
No way.
And I can't even get service at the cul-de-sac at my road.
I swear.
Exactly. Like that makes no sense. There's no way they could have live broadcasted that. And like especially
And a phone call, be for real.
No.
No, because back then, I mean, even when we were old enough to know, there was phones with cords attached. Did they take a cord all the way up there?
Well, and that's another thing too. Is like the wind or whatever. That flag was just whipping.
Yeah.
And
There's
you
no
know.
wind in space.
No.
Can't be.
No, because there's no gravity. Wind's created by gravity.
So now maybe I'm just stupid, but like, if there's no wind on the moon, how is there wind on Earth? Because we're on
It's the
a
gravity.
round ball.
It's gravity.
But does every other planet have?
That has an atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
There's
just
some-
moons that don't have
I
atmospheres.
can't remember which planet it is, but one of the planets, like, their winds are like hundreds of miles per hour.
Probably
Am I-
Jupiter.
Jupiter, yeah. I thought it was one of the bigger ones. So, yeah. I knew that.
I want to know if you can stand on a ring in Saturn's.
Well, the rings are made of smaller
Gas.
asteroids.
I thought they were
and
gas, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know.
You
that.
know
It's
how
been
I
a
know
long
that?
time since
Because
I've
when
been.
I read those AR books, I read those 0.5 nonfiction books. And
5.0.
0.5.
No, it's 0.5.
0.5.
They're 0.5.
0.5. Half a point.
Oh, have a point. I was talking about the age group, like 5.1 or that's what I was
talking
thinking
about.
you were talking about.
The amount of points you get for reading that book. I read all of the Planet books.
I did too, I think.
They were good.
They were baller.
Did you read them?
Till Miss Vaughn's class, and then she's like, "You get to read 2 nonfiction books and 1 fiction book."
Yeah.
And you were like, those
I hate
0.5 save me.
I hated that.
I think once I got to 8th grade, they stopped doing AR.
Yeah.
I want to say that. But anyway.
Anyway, so more about the moon.
But yeah, there's just no way. Like, even Elon Musk, which SpaceX is kind of leading the charge, I guess, in space now. Like, even he's like, we can't get to the moon right now. Like, they don't even, like,
And he's a
somehow
smart guy.
they lost how to do it. Meanwhile, y'all seen the movie? What's the movie with the lady where she's
Something
Just
figures.
keep explaining it.
Hidden
Hidden
Figures?
figures. Oh,
Figures.
yeah. I
Yeah,
like
they're
that
out there
movie.
writing equations on a chalkboard with calculators the size of my house that my phone could do more calculations now, and they figured out how to get to the moon.
And
Yeah,
that was a
bull
true
crap.
story.
Yeah, I mean, that's a true story.
Yeah.
Well,
It was based on.
they're now them
Those
figuring out the
women,
math.
yeah.
Like that's all true. Like their scientists really worked on how to.
They
get
dramatized it a little bit.
there. But now, did they actually go to the moon? That's still another.
That's what we're saying.
That's just in my mind. I'm like, how does that many people get on board to
Yeah.
do that and then nobody speaks about it?
Oh,
How do you get that many people to agree to that unless they also think you're on the moon and you're
do they?
and you're really in a Hollywood? Is that what you think, Hollywood studio?
I don't know.
Why do you think they would do that? Why would they act like?
Because they were in the space race against the Soviet Union. So what they need to do, like, they needed to show their dominance to the Soviet Union because the Soviets couldn't make it to the moon.
I thought they made it before we did.
The Soviets made it to space,
Yeah,
low Earth orbit,
Okay, yeah, with a dog,
with the dog Sputnik.
Sputnik.
but so have they gone to the moon?
I think
After that.
China's been to the moon.
Now, do
but
you think they've
I
been to
don't
the moon?
I think the U.S. is the only people that had actual people on the moon,
Like land, like on touching it with
Yeah.
their feet.
if they really did.
allegedly.
But so there's other countries that have been.
Like China put a flag on
But do
the
you
moon.
think they have been?
The world may never know.
See, that's my thing. If it was just the United States that had stepped foot on the moon, then why? Then I could understand why it would be maybe a conspiracy theory. But now that we've got China putting a flag on the moon, now are they in on it too? Like,
That's the thing is like, is there secret like New World Order bases on the moon? That's where they're running the projects.
Let me ask you about this. Okay. So, you see all these like TV shows, movies about people are trying to wipe out the country or like they're trying to wipe out everything, like everybody in the world, whatever. They're trying to make a new
New World Order, yeah.
Yeah.
that's
so
a Masonic
thing. You've heard the
Bohemian
predictive programming, right? So do you think that they're doing that?
Oh, they've always done it. And that's like you look back before 9/11, there was cartoons,
toys.
toys, stuff like that.
So do you really think they're doing that?
But
They do,
also,
yeah.
also, here's my thing: the World Trade Center was attacked in 1993.
Yeah.
If for some reason they saw that, like let's say The Simpsons, for instance, Did they predict 9/11?
They had planes. They got attacked by a basement bombing in 93.
That's what I'm saying. If The Simpsons made their 9/11 episode after the basement bombings in 93, I mean, it would still be crazy that they thought, oh, maybe planes hitting the building if that was an episode. I don't know
Yeah,
about
but
The
there's
Simpsons.
other things like with Donald Trump like riding down the escalator and like you know what I'm saying, like things that are
But
way
here's the
ahead
thing.
of time.
How many times has Donald Trump rode down an escalator?
But it was him as president. rather
Yeah.
than the escalator.
Like they've predicted a lot of stuff, have they not? And it's 100% accurate.
Didn't
Or
they
it's not that far off.
Didn't they predict Trump getting assassinated?
Yeah, didn't they?
I didn't see that.
I
They-
thought I
it's a-
saw
it-
that one recently. And
But it had him in a coffin,
okay,
and it said 2024 on it.
okay, well,
And they've tried to kill him twice already. So,
yeah.
but anyway, so you do think predictive programming is accurate,
Oh,
no matter
100%.
what it is, and you think the new world order is why? What's the purpose in that new world order? Just so that they can control everybody
Yeah.
better than what they're doing right now.
Well, so their thinking is that the world is getting overpopulated. Like,
I thought we were underpopulated. Is that
See,
not
depends
what
on
they're
what
saying?
countries. Depends on what country.
See,
like,
because now the United States people are not
Yeah.
having babies as
Japan.
early like I did. You know, most people are
Japan's
waiting.
the same way. Like they're depends on who you talk to. And a lot of people said that New World Order created COVID to kind of kill off a bunch of people.
And see,
And
there's a lot of things that have talked about creating a virus to get rid of a lot of people and it spread.
But also, there has been a major virus every election. Like I looked at a chart and there was one every time it was an election year, which we haven't had one this year. But
Well, it ain't over.
Well, COVID
Yeah.
did flare back up, but now they treat it like the flu, so it don't really matter.
But anyway, what were you going to say with the
predictive programming.
like why underpopulation, you were talking about that.
Yeah, so basically, overpopulation, they're trying to trim the fat off the world. Viruses like that target the weaker people. So it's going to be your old people,
Children.
weak children, to make a stronger, I guess, human race.
That's terrifying.
But they're just really wanting people to be like willing. I want to say it might have been, it wasn't BlackRock. It was, they had like one of these global conferences, kind of like the United Nations, but they call it something else. And that's when they were talking about you'll have nothing and you'll like it. You know, they don't want you to have any belongings. Like they want it to be socialism.
No.
Like when you
Socialism
say they
never
won't
worked.
have anything, like
You'll
they have
be
a house,
living-
they eat, sleep, poop.
They own everything you have,
Yeah.
and you're just slaves.
I mean, that's why it's kind of like what Hitler did. I mean, he was he come in as a real nice, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, good things, and everybody liked him, and then he turned
flipped
on
the
the
switch.
Jews, and I mean, I don't think he treated his own people very good.
Yeah, probably
So-
not. So do you want to move on outside of that to something else? What else do you have for us? Unless you want to say more.
No, I'm good on that.
Speaking of the Jews and Hitler, you were talking about earlier, Antarctica. And y'all get that in a minute.
Yeah, so in the height of World War II, people don't understand that wars are not necessarily countries wanting to fight each other. It's really countries wanting to go find stuff.
Oh.
Like the U.S. is always like, you ever see the memes where it's like someone will be like, I found oil in my backyard, and then there'll be like a thing that's like, they need some freedom. Like America raided the Middle East basically for the oil. They don't care. They didn't care about the Taliban. Another reason why they say U.S. faked 9/11 was to go invade Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan. But anyway,
That's terrible.
yeah. So during
they
the height
did
of World
that.
War II, Hitler was trying to find some type of lost civilization or something. So he sent some troops to Antarctica. Well, they go down there and find like a hole to the center of the earth.
A what?
A hole.
A
A
hole?
hole to the center of the earth. And the Aryans were in there. Basically, the Nazis thought they were part of an Aryan race, and that was the whole point of the Holocaust, is they were trying to make the world
Perfect.
perfect.
Perfect blonde hair, blue
Also,
eyes.
Come like 1945, 46, the U.S. sent troops down there to figure out what they were doing, because obviously they didn't want them to be down there making a base. And it's called Operation High Jump. It's like General Admiral Byrd went down there, like high ranking guy, hops in an airplane, he's flying, doing like recon over Antarctica. Well, all of a sudden, and this is all wrote in his journal, his like instruments start flaring up, kind of like Bermuda Triangle. All of a sudden, spaceship pulls up beside him.
Spaceship in the 40s,
Yeah.
like
Well, they had
UFO
airplanes, yeah. And what did the spaceship have on it?
aliens,
Aliens, and what was on the side of it?
Nazis,
Nazis.
Nazi aliens.
So anyway, he goes in there, and they're
Is that the
Innocent
race
Earth.
that you're talking about? They think they're a part
Yeah.
of. Okay,
Aliens?
aliens.
anyway. So that's a story
I can
about
tell you.
Antarctica.
I can tell you that aliens are not blonde hair, blue eyes, green skin, big eyes.
And so that's predictive programming. That's what they want you to think. That way, they're just feeding.
Okay, don't scare me now.
I
No,
know.
look,
like,
honestly,
I'm just scared.
honestly, they're feeding these people all this information. That
Of what
way,
the
when aliens drop down on
We
the
won't
White House
know.
lawn, no, they're like, oh yeah. But if they drop down and they're like some spider-looking things, and you don't know about it, like if an alien walks up right now, it's a little easier to digest, considering that they've sat there and shoved aliens down your throat
don't
for
know,
the last
so
50 years.
Are
What
you
I
an
was-
alien?
the way I was going was, what if they're trying to put this image in our head so that when they do finally come out,
We won't know.
we don't know the difference
Well,
between.
that's Project Bluebeam.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah, I led you into your next point. You just say
Yeah,
it, buddy.
Project Bluebeam is basically a plan that the U.S. will fake an alien invasion,
That's terrifying.
kind of conquer the world, or like New World Order of Project Bluebeam, and like kind of, I guess, set themselves up and get people scared. But yeah, like
What would they want to do that for? For the New World Order
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
So let me ask you this. This may be too political. Do you think that the two presidential candidates are or will be or know about this?
no,
So you don't think they're involved in it?
no, they don't know.
So who knows?
Deep state.
So you're talking
Like
like
I'm talking about
the Masons.
no, yeah, I don't think the Masons are involved in the aliens.
Oh, well, I'm talking about New World Order.
Yeah. The Freemasons definitely know about it. Like George Washington was a Freemason.
Most of the presidents back during the
Yeah.
Revolutionary period were Freemasons. And some of their, well, probably almost all of them that signed the Declaration of Independence. Ben Franklin was a big one.
Yeah, the Freemasons know a lot of stuff. Like I think they know more about like to our next thing is like aliens is like the Anunnaki, which were apparently this group of aliens that come down and enslaved humans, and then the humans like revolted, and then they caused the Great Flood. Yeah.
You don't believe that one, do you?
The problem with conspiracy theories is that you have to kind of look at it with your own religious beliefs. You know, does this, because some of these conspiracy theories contest religion. Not necessarily the Great Flood. I don't think that really contests the Bible. Every major religion has an account of the Great Flood. There's geographical evidence of the Great Flood like 13,000 years ago. Another thing, too, to me is like I've never seen the Bible where they really show a timeline. The Bible doesn't say 2,000 years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, you know, some like to say the Earth's 4 billion years old. Well, why can't it be in the Bible? Does the Bible say the Earth's X amount of years ago.
Honestly, I don't know. And I also know that God's time is different than what we,
Yeah, he don't live on time.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
outside of time.
what could be 2 days to him could be billions of years to us. So, that's one thing we'll never know. And I guess when you were talking about how accepting conspiracy theories depends on, how you feel convicted religiously or whatever. And my thing is, I can't get behind the alien thing because I feel like that goes against what I believe as a Bible believing Christian.
Well, I mean, the Bible speaks of the Nephilim.
Yes, yes.
Could the Nephilim be aliens?
Well, I mean, I guess they might could, but also it does say that they won't come out until the Nile dries up. They're underneath the Nile River, and when it dries up, the Nephilim.
The Nephilim.
When that dries up, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's what giants, right?
Yeah.
See, that's why we need a guy.
I'm pretty sure that the Nephilim is underneath the Nile River, and when it dries up, they'll come busting out of the bottom of the dried up river.
They're underneath it.
They're like chained down. I'm pretty sure. Let me look up and see where it says in the Bible. I could be totally wrong.
But like they're under the ground?
Apparently.
But the Bible speaks like the fallen angels and stuff like that. It kind of makes you wonder if that's where we're getting the aliens from, like where people are getting that information. Because there's...
You think, like, what are you saying? Like, the fallen angels are, like, feeding people this wild information?
No, the fallen angels are what got passed down through time and is basically turned into aliens.
Oh, people are interpreting it as that.
Like, there's...
People have spun it so many times that that's what you're saying?
Like, there's context in religions about fiery balls going through the sky, which thing is like you go back
Could that
to
not
the
be
biblical
an asteroid?
days and throw somebody an iPhone, they're going to think that you're a wizard.
Yeah.
You drive by them in a car, that's a fiery, something like that. You know
Or
what I
an
mean?
asteroid.
Yeah, or a spaceship.
Okay, so it did say, okay, who are the 4 angels? I'm sorry, not the Nile, it's the Euphrates River.
That sounds
Okay, who are the 4 angels bound under the Euphrates River? I thought they were, I don't know if this is right, because they're saying the Book of Enoch,
Oh yeah, that's another.
and
rabbit
that's
hole.
not in
Not
that
in the
Book of
Bible.
Enoch. See, I don't know what to believe when it comes to that, because I don't know if it was purposefully left out of the Bible
like by God's will.
by God's will, or if it's just some made up other deal. So, and I did ask Grenady about it, because I was like, what, they called it something else. But
There's all kinds of books
It's been
that are
all-
left out of the Bible.
well, see, and I had asked Grenady about it, and Grenady was like, I don't know. He was like, I've heard about it, but I don't see why, if it isn't included in your Bible. He said you could be treading into some dangerous ground with it being something that's not necessarily like what God intended for you to read, and that's where it says they're bound in the Book of Enoch. So that could be.
And the thing with
I don't want to touch on that,
thing-
like personally.
Yeah, another thing too, kind of that concerns me about some of the books of the Bible that's technically not in there is like who decided that? Was it some like
Freemasons.
tyrant king that said don't put that in there?
Yes.
Should have been. I don't know.
And that's what I was talking to Grenady about. I was like, what if we're meant to read that and we're finding out about it, and it, because I was torn between, is me seeing all these videos a sign that I need to go read that? Or,
See, that- I
and
have
if I
that
don't, am I ignoring what God had planned for me?
Yeah, I have that problem too.
It's just, I don't know. And that's just one of those things you just really have to pray about.
Yeah.
If he wants you to read that or not. And, like Hunter said, it could be, because especially like with the Catholics, like back in the day, they were telling the people what they claimed the Bible said. And it was a lie. And they were telling those people they had to pay to get into heaven. So these poor people were like
Giving all their money.
doomed to go to hell in their mind. Even though that's not what Jesus said. But these popes and these religious leaders were telling them, oh, well, if you don't pay so-and-so schmeckles, you ain't going to heaven.
Yeah.
That's kind of some of my dealings with divisions of Christianity, because there's probably 20 different sub-sanctions, all reading the same book, and they got 20 different ideas.
Like the Methodists and the Baptists,
Yeah, that's heir to the Protestants, like stuff like that.
the Mormons.
The Mormons, they read the Bible? No, they got.
I thought they
no,
did.
No, the Mormons.
I thought they were different.
No,
I thought the Mormons were Christians, but they were their own.
No, the Mormons.
Oh, they're
have their
not?
whole new
I think
book.
their own. Yeah.
What's the David something?
Let's look.
I know it's the Church of the Latter-day
Joseph Smith.
Saints. Yeah, and Brigham Young. You know that's who founded BYU.
Yep, they're all Mormons.
And they're all up in Utah. See, and that's like, it's almost cult-like.
Oh yeah, but I mean, then people can say that the Baptists are cults, the Methodists are cults.
Yes, and I guess you could say that, because it's hard to go, like for Baptists, it's really hard to transition into the Methodist Church.
Yeah, and also you look at how, it's not the Protestants. What's the other? Starts with a P.
Presbyterian.
Yeah, Presbyterian.
Yeah, like how they worship versus Baptist versus Methodist. What's the right way?
Yeah, that's true.
This is what it said about the Mormons. It says, do the Mormons have the same Bible as Christians? And it said, with respect to Scripture, Mormons differ from traditional Christian groups in that they accept extra books in their canon. In addition to the King James Version of the Bible, they add the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine of the Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price.
So they probably are a form of Christianity, but it's probably on the far one wing of the spectrum.
Yeah, probably.
So going back to the Great Flood, it's kind of where Atlantis comes in. So there's been a lot of archaeological digs, like people trying to find Atlantis, and they thought they found it in the Sahara Desert.
Why'd you do that?
Make sure I pronounce it.
You can say
right.
Sahara.
Sahara.
People say it both
Sahara
ways.
Desert. There's a thing called the Eye of the Sahara. It's perfectly circular rings, but it's way off the ocean. Well, back in the day, pre-flood, it could have been underwater. And there's people went out there, and there's all types of water erosion on it. Like there's a bunch of places, like even in the U.S., where they found huge erosion, where floods come down through Canada, through the U.S., and then over there it kind of went through the Sahara Desert, which used to be temperate rainforest, like the Amazon.
Where is the Sahara Desert located?
North Africa.
Okay.
Another thing you talk about is the Amazon.
You didn't say anything about Atlantis. What's that got to do with Atlantis?
Oh, Atlantis. Yeah, people are trying to find Atlantis, but it's not there anymore. It was pre-flood. The flood washed it all away. But Atlantis was
So it was above ground.
yeah.
Like
People
not
think it's
in the
underwater. I don't think it's
It
underwater.
was not mermaid people.
No, it was
know
not
that.
mermaid people. It was. Then they also say that it was a race of different people. It wasn't humans. But
Mermaids.
too, that's kind of why the flood happened biblically, is it not?
Well, it was
Wash away the evil, because there was
Yes.
all these half human, half angels, demons, stuff like that.
Yeah, a
going
lot
on.
of bad stuff, a lot of sin,
Yeah.
bad people.
But then you get into on a side note, we'll get away from that because I don't really got a lot on it. It's there's all type of conspiracies about what's in the Amazon rainforest.
What do you think's in there?
They say there's giant sloths the size of elephants in there.
like the megalodon and stuff like that.
Well,
There's just giant
cryptids,
things
yeah.
of animals?
Oh, cryptids.
They call it
What is that?
megafauna.
What's a cryptid?
Cryptid's kind of like your Bigfoot, Chupacabra, Loch Ness Monster, Mothman.
Legend.
Mm.
Urban legend animals.
But they had like megafauna, which is basically just giant animals. And they said animals are so much bigger pre-flood because there were so many more trees. The
I was about to say
oxygen-
there's probably more for them to roll off.
well,
of,
the
you know?
oxygen was so much higher. That's why you had
They were able to
you
flourish.
snowball into where dinosaurs real.
I do think dinosaurs are real, but I think the Bible referred to them as the creeping things.
What do you think?
Why would they not be real?
I mean, there's bones of them.
Yeah, why
I
would
don't
they-
think people
why would
fabricated
they
all
just
as bones.
make up dinosaurs? That makes no sense.
Now, when they claimed they were alive, I think that there was people alive too, because I mean, God created all the things in 6 days, and then He rested on the seventh. So
That's true.
I think there was humans and dinosaurs walking the earth at the same time. I mean, chickens. They're like
Big chickens.
they're like some type of, I don't even know the dinosaur species that they,
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
yeah, I guess maybe. But they,
Yeah,
Not
they say
chickens.
They say the T-Rex had feathers like a chicken now. They've went back on their
You're not
word.
talking about the pterodactyl. You're talking
I'm
about
talking about a T-Rex like
Callie,
the
talking about
T-Rex.
Jurassic Park
Okay.
T-Rex.
Okay.
and then the long necked things.
Ooh, those are cool. I like
But yeah, like they say like in the Amazon, like
go.
they haven't yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about those.
But they say there's all types of stuff in the Amazon. Like they don't even know. Like they say there's like still like hundreds of thousands of species they don't even know. Now a lot of them are like small, like frogs and stuff. I mean, there could be like giant snakes and
Oh gosh, that's terrifying.
tigers and giant sloths.
And they don't go out there.
You can't. It's impenetrable.
I mean, it's like
It's so thick. Like
Like-
think about
With like,
trees. Like it's
bushes.
there's no roads through it.
Callie, you're talking about walking through the woods in
you
a
can't like
rainforest.
fly over it, drop down.
Okay, here's
No,
the thing.
like it's so thick.
It's covered,
Yeah,
okay,
a canopy.
with canopy trees, and it's thick, and it's humid.
Now they have done like
It's hot.
LiDAR to see what's under it. Like they said, there's lost civilizations underneath that. Like
I wouldn't doubt it.
Pyramid.
Kind of like in Minecraft when you
Yeah,
go and
it's
there's
little-
like a temple in there.
Yeah.
Got some chests with some goodies.
Like they say, like what was they looking for? In golly, I can't think of it. What's the show on Netflix that everybody watches? They're coming out with a new season in October.
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks. What were they looking
Like-
for?
Treasure, like
They were looking for treasure
Gold.
out in
That's
the
true.
ocean.
El Dorado.
yeah.
El Dorado is a real thing. Like that's not made up in the show. Like El Dorado could be in the Amazon jungle. For all they know. Like that's another thing too, going back to like the countries, like all these countries were looking for all this lost gold and stuff like that.
What do you think there could be people that live in the Amazon forest?
Oh yeah, there's definitely uncontacted tribes, but I don't think any
I wanted to get into that tribe that killed that guy. You know, he went out
the
there.
North Centennial Islands.
Yes, the ones where they throw the arrows at the planes and stuff, or shoot
yeah.
arrows at planes. You know, there was a guy that went out there on
A
a ship.
missionary, I'm pretty
He
sure.
was a missionary, and he went out there to spread the word and to kind of get to know them.
in the
And he-
Amazon.
I think
No, it's not in the
it's
Amazon.
on
I
the
don't think.
coast of like Africa or Australia or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
Somewhere
and
over on that side of the world.
yeah, and this. When you think of a tribe,
Was
I'm
he by
talking.
himself?
He wasn't. He was with somebody else, I think. But anyway, he got over there, and I'm talking like these people are naked, but they have cloth covering them. So like, he gets over there and he starts talking to them, and I think he had like made friends with them, and they killed him and they ate him.
Oh yeah, they're cannibals.
Yeah.
How do they not eat all the other people in their little village?
They might do.
But that guy went out there to be a missionary, and they.
And how do we know that?
I think there was journal entries or something. I believe
Yeah.
he wrote in his journal, and I don't know how they got it, but and there's pictures of them. I can pull up the pictures of them.
No, I'm good.
Well, that's kind of like, missionaries definitely play a key part because there's not saying in the Bible that like every person has to hear
Look at 'em.
before. Yeah.
I mean, you see, they're
Scary.
scary. They're very uncivilized. And dude, he had a hard time like talking to them because they spoke a totally different language that probably nobody knows.
Yeah, it's more like clicks and pops, not
Yeah.
words. But like, you know, all these uncontacted tribes is like all these missionaries are trying to get to them, but they're all like cannibals and like they're not going to listen to you. That's kind of like we're no different to them than like aliens dropping down in their
That's
back
true.
porch. Another thing too is
You
like
just moved so far.
all these different conspiracies or paradigms about aliens is just like, do aliens look at us like an ant?
You think they're that big?
No, I'm saying like, does an ant? You walk over an ant.
Oh, because they're like, you're dumb.
No, like an ant doesn't even realize we're there. Like an ant doesn't see us and run away. The ant's just
Oh, I see what
there.
you're saying.
Like, what if we're just so blind? They're just right there.
Well, but kind of like I was saying, we're just kind of so dumb to what their intelligence is, and we don't know.
But I'm not saying we're looking down at ants like saying they're dumb.
Callie,
Well, they're not.
it was November 2018 when that guy was killed. He was a missionary.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is pretty sad.
So Bigfoot. Y'all believe in Bigfoot?
I don't really know.
No.
I might if I saw Bigfoot. I mean, the picture looks like real when he's
So-
doing like this.
They do have fossils of what they call, this scientific name was Gigantopithecus.
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 Okay.
It's basically just like a large bipedal ape looking thing. It was like 8 foot tall. Matches a Sasquatch, Bigfoot. Pretty dang good. But to me, like,
Could it not be like what we were talking about earlier, though? There's just things out there that they say are like
But this is in North America.
bigger. Yeah, but let's just say that
Because wasn't
all those fossils and stuff, what if that was from actually a long, long time ago and they're studying it wrong?
well, what if, like, there's stuff that we think's extinct, and every once in a while, one of them will just pop up,
like a megalodon.
like a megalodon.
You know, my thing, and the thing about the aliens too, like, you can't sit here and say, oh, that's not real, when so many people have claimed, like, a normal person that's not crazy, that probably didn't believe in something like that before, and then they see something like it. And granted, the whole alien thing, people seeing the UFOs and stuff, like, that could be a ship, a spaceship that another country has built and they're flying over it. May not be aliens, but like, I've seen videos and stuff of where people will be put under hypnosis and they'll tell about being on the spaceship and stuff. So like, why can't somebody see a Bigfoot without being called crazy?
Well, aliens are definitely more likely to be real
Than a
than
Bigfoot?
because, like, there's like people like in the U.S. government that's come out and say, hey, like, we're seeing stuff that's not,
Normal.
like, we can't do this stuff. Like, going from like 60,000 feet to like 2,000 feet above the ocean in like a split second. Like, if a human was in there, it would just dissolve.
Yeah, the G-forces and...
Yeah, it just wouldn't work. You know, like, we don't have drones that can do that either.
But with a Bigfoot, like, I've seen, like, for instance, let me just say this. When I had my little hallucination about seeing the Grim Reaper on the porch, that was absolutely real to me.
Okay.
And so when I
haven't heard
tell
that
somebody that,
yeah, tell him the story.
when I tell somebody, you haven't heard that?
No.
Okay, so I had COVID, make a long story short, and I was going from Mom and Daddy's house to my house. I was staying at mine and Blake's house during the day, and I was going home when everybody went to bed and just going straight in my bed and going to sleep so that I could still take care of the house, take care of Babby, because I didn't feel all that bad, but I knew I needed to stay away, so, you know. So I started running a fever like 3 or 4 days in, and I was leaving, and it was the middle of January. It was so flipping cold, and I was leaving the house, and I had just downloaded TikTok, and all I saw on TikTok was the rapture's about to happen, the world is ending, all this other stuff. So I was
This is not
already...
the first time she's
Yeah, it's not the first time that I've been
Had something
freaked
like
out
that.
like that, you know, because the thoughts of the world ending just really, it shouldn't scare me, but it just does.
I don't think it scares you. I think it makes you anxious.
It does. And so I was already on edge. I was running a high fever, and I left to go home, and I got to the end of my driveway, and you know that house across the road? Okay, I thought that I saw the Grim Reaper standing on that porch, and it scared me to death. And when I'm telling you this,
How long was it there, though?
oh, it was there.
Second?
I was stopped, and I just stared at it.
And when you looked away and looked,
I mean,
back,
look, I'm getting chill
Yeah, I
bumps
see
because this was absolutely real to me.
you gave me some.
So I get home, and I'm going in the house, and I get out of my car, and I'm walking in, and I see it, and it's walking parallel. And this is not my shadow, okay? It's walking with me, and I took off running. I got up to the steps, and I was expecting Mom and Daddy to be in the bed, and I'm just trying to think about how I'm going to get to go to sleep tonight. And I go in, and Mom and Daddy were still awake. And I was holding back tears because I cried all the way home, and I had tried to suck it up and deal with it, you know, in my car for a minute before I went in. I get in the house, and Daddy goes, "What's up, COVID case?" And that's when I lost it, dude, because that was absolutely real to me. And, like, I got in Mama's lap like a baby. Were you there? I got up in Mama's lap like a baby, curled up in the fetal position and just squalled because it scared me so bad. So if something like that was that real to me, why can't somebody saying they've been abducted by aliens or seeing a Bigfoot? Like, I'm not crazy, but I saw that, and I believe I saw that.
So you think it's more of a hallucination?
No, I'm just saying, like, why can't that experience be
Real to them.
real? Like, why does everybody have to make the Bigfoot people and the alien people feel crazy?
Well, that's like you talk about hallucinations. So the Salem witch trials that happened up in, like, was it Massachusetts? They
Yeah.
murdered all those people. Well, they done some research and digging around. Apparently, around the same time, there was some type of mold going around
Oh,
in the
gosh.
bread. So
That was causing
the scientists are
hallucinogenic.
pretty sure that all those people were just basically taking psychedelic bread, and it was making them trip out, thinking they're seeing stuff, and they murdered all those people for nothing.
Wow. That's
So, yeah,
terrifying.
that's your
I didn't know that.
tip of the day.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, why can't somebody saying, if they honestly believe they saw a Bigfoot, why do people have to make them act like or make them feel like they're crazy? Because I believe that people, I mean, it's not crazy people that say they see this kind of stuff.
Well, that's just like Hunter's not crazy, but he believes in the alien.
No, and it's like people that, like Hannah, for instance, when she was talking about that
Stuff at her
that
house.
stuff at her house, like, that was absolutely real to her.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
most people don't believe in stuff like that. But why?
I had something crazy kind of like that. It was just one time, and I hope it doesn't happen again because I'll lose it. I had one time walked into my room, and it was at night. Everybody was in the living room. I'm pretty sure this was when you were still living there. I walked into my room and closed the door, and I heard a and I went back out, and I made sure that everybody was in there. I heard a giggle.
Oh, heck no. Oh,
And
heck
I
no.
made Daddy check every nook and cranny of that room.
Y'all are going to have to
told him
both walk
I
me out
started
tonight.
squalling. And I told y'all, I said, I heard that. I am not crazy. It was not Carly's laugh. It didn't sound like Carly's laugh. It was not you. It was nobody. And I was scared to death. And sometimes when I walk in there, I fear that I'm going to hear it again. But there was nothing in there.
That
No-
doesn't surprise me after what Mama said.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get into that into another episode. But yeah,
It'll have to be during the daytime.
so anyways, back to Bigfoot. I think that's going to be all for us today. We're definitely going to get Hunter to come back and do some more conspiracy theories later
He
on.
just said he didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, I thought you said you would do some more.
I mean, I'll do it, but we can come back and talk about something else.
Okay, that's fine. He can come back and talk about something else. That's fine. Thanks for coming to being on our show.
Yes,
Tell
thank
us
you.
about all these
I like
things.
the studio. I have to walk around it when I come in here and put stuff in the room. So
Yeah. You'll have to come when Blake comes again, and then y'all can, like, We can just have another after y'all are married. Do like a wedding or a marriage talk or
We
something.
should do like a battle of the
Battle of the sexes.
no.
Battle of the couple.
Yeah, like
Trivia.
we'll see. We'll ask the same questions, but we'll see if y'all get. You know what I'm saying?
That'll be a fun little.
We'll see how many y'all get right. You know,
Yeah.
and then we'll see like a sister kind of thing. Like how many can we get right versus the people that know us the best are supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, I feel like we could do something cool like that.
That's
Me
pretty
and
cool.
Blake are too busy playing golf.
Oh
Yeah, they're getting into a new hobby.
fine with me. Bye.
We have our trucker hat giveaway. Y'all don't forget to do all the things on the TikTok. We'll have a video posted here soon. If you want to add, let us know. Want a commercial, let us know. Follow us on all of our socials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like our YouTube videos. And I think that's going to be it for me.
That's it. You covered it all. So
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Callie.
I'm Hunter.
And this has been Beyond 21. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See ya.